But you know, technology isn't only benefiting GISD students in the classrooms, it's also benefiting them on the football field. Every week, marching bands from the district's 7 high schools perform halftime shows during the games. What you may not know is that some of our band directors are getting a little help from technology to teach students their formations.
For the marching portion, we use Piware 3D. It's a program that's been around for a long time, and they've upgraded a lot recently. The program allows us to make the drill much more sophisticated because we can get so much more detail-oriented with what the kids are supposed to be doing. A typical marching show may have had about 30 sets in it, and that would have been a lot a long time ago, but now we can have anywhere between 70, 80 sets in a show and give the kids a lot more information in a lot smaller amount of time. We start it as soon as we start learning drill, so that would have been the first week of summer band. We started learning drill on Thursday usually, and we show the kids the entire opener before we go outside and even start learning the first set, so they know what it's supposed to look like before they get out there. Okay, we're just gonna do a quick demonstration of how I would start the show if I was starting from scratch. I obviously have a blank screen here, and I would start adding people in. To start our show, we start at a 6-step interval. So if I drew a line and I have this centered on the 30-yard line, have all of these people from the front of the field to the back of the field, and I'm going to tell it automatically puts 41 people on there at a 2-step interval, but I want them at a 6-step interval, and then we'll call that good. And I'm basically going to do that every 6 steps, create another line. I'm adding in people that I want more than that 6-step interval because these outer diamonds are actually going to rotate. So basically, the band's going to be a little bit bigger than this, but I'm going to start with this one person in the middle. This is Anne Frank, because our show is the Diary of Anne Frank. And I'm going to use the label tool to change her label to A so I don't ever lose her in all of the X's. I want her to be seen. I want to make sure that she stays the central focus. The first thing I have to do is tell it where I want my first tab to be. It starts at the count editor at 0, so I want there to be a page at 0. I want the next page to be at 8 counts, the next page to be at 16 counts, the next at 24, then 32, and etc. So then I'm going to go down here, I'm going to select page 2, so I'm moving all of them from page 1 to page 2, and I select the first group that I want to actually move. The program, sometimes it's really smart, sometimes you have to do a little extra work because of how I input these people. They're not already connected to each other in the way that I need them connected, so I have to tell it to regroup all and paste them all back together. And then I'm going to accept that. And so basically if I play now and I can animate it myself, I can have it move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The new software also has what's called a visual editor that allows me to take my main color guard person, select them, and put them in a specific uniform. If you'll notice on our drill, the main character is in black, the rest of the color guard is in white, and the other band students are actually wearing a band uniform. I can also animate what equipment she's spinning. I can tell it that yes, she's in the color guard, she's spinning a flag, and I can tell them what flag. And I'm going to go ahead and cut back to our actual show, and this is what it looks like once I've finished with movement 1. And there's our color guard person in the middle, and all of these diamonds are going to rotate one at a time. What I would give to a student is called a coordinate sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and go into print coordinates. This is what the coordinate sheet actually looks like. Let's magnify that. So Lauren Beaver, she is Anne Frank in our show. She starts on the A 30-yard line, that would be side 1 or the left side of the field, and she is 9.75 steps in front of the visitor hash. Now if you'll notice, she doesn't move very much at the beginning because she stays at the center, basically the center focal point of everything that's going on. This other student right here, Jaron Simmons, who's a trombone player, would start 2 steps inside of a 40-yard line, and then his front to back coordinate is 12 steps behind the home sideline. And obviously he holds there for a little bit before his movement starts. But this is an example of what the students actually receive to chart themselves on the field. The actual drill itself, I can watch it in this perspective, okay, and I can tell it I want to hear the music with it. I've synced the music up with it. That's a separate process, but I've already done that for our final drill. And you can watch the show just like this with the X's and the B's and the Y's and all of the letters. And it'll be playing all of the music with it. Anybody that's holding it blinks. There's a setting I can change that if I want to, but I do that in case I missed somebody on a move and I don't really mean for them to hold, then I can watch it. Okay? The other perspective that I can use is this 3D perspective. And this is the cool part of the updated software, that we can actually see the animation. They used to be stick figures this past year, and now they actually animate like lifelike humans. And you can zoom in. Okay, and you can see it's got the student's name above their head. If I really need to zoom in and show them, hey, this is you, this is what you should be looking like, and I can come back all the way to a judge's perspective view, and then we can watch the entire first movement of our show. And this is what we showed the first week of summer band before we started learning this drill. One of the things that we talk to the kids about is how these lines have to hold up and down. It's very easy to see when it's a perfect animated computer image, and then compare to what they're actually doing.